Now, we've all heard the Lizzie Borden's nursery rhyme, but did you know that it was based on actual events? So, as you probably already guessed, this story is about Lizzie Borden. And the Lizzie Borden house is found in Fall River, Massachusetts. It's an old Victorian home. It stands as a reminder of a dark past. And today, it's actually known as Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast, where one of the America's most famous murders took place. Now, this isn't just some ordinary, everyday bread and breakfast. This is something that has a history of having blood shed in its halls. It's something that will truly haunt you and send shivers down your spine. Just picture this. You're standing at the doorstep of a house where Andrew and Abby Borden were killed. Every creak of the floor seems to whisper secrets. The home still looked like it did back in the 1800s, and a close-up view of history for those who like spooky things. It became a main attraction. In fact, one of the main attractions just in the house alone is the room where Mrs. Borden's body was found. Tour guides recall chilling details of the murder and trail making visitors' skin literally crawl. And we've all heard the nursery rhyme. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Hard to believe that something so atrocious became a nursery rhyme for children to sing all over the place. Well, at night, the bread and breakfast turns into something completely different. It is said that when night falls, the house becomes alive with strange noises. Ghost hunters come with their tools hoping to catch proof of spirits. Guests have reported seeing ghosts, hearing whispers, and feeling cold touches. When you go by the fireplace, some say that they've seen a shadow of a man who could possibly be Andrew Borden. They'll see chairs move on their own, doors open without anyone touching them. This place isn't just a place to stay. It's a place to go for if you want your spine to tingle and experience the supernatural. It is said that when you go to the bread and breakfast, you're hit with a mixture of all these emotions. There'll be excitement, there'll be fear, there'll be anxiety, a little bit of nervousness. Some people look forward to it, but there's reports that the air, it feels heavy, like it's holding on to the old stories. The lights are dim and they make long shadows, and there's a faint smell of lavender in the air. The staircase is known to creak when you go to climb up it, and each room looks just as it did in the 1800s. So, as you can imagine, it'd be pretty easy to imagine the Bordens walking around. Guests have reported that the curtains will move slightly on their own, even though there's no explanation for it. There wouldn't be any wind, there'd be nothing touching the curtains, so there's no reason that these curtains should move on their own. They tend to feel like they have somebody watching them. With whatever they do, they just feel that someone's gaze is right on them. The shadows will play tricks with your eyes, making the house even more spooky at night. You can hear the wind howling outside, and if you can sleep, it's said that your dreams will be the mix of the house's dark history and whatever footstep is in the hall that can get your imagination going. During the day, the house is still eerie. The second night, however, is when the house will start to show its true colors, and you can feel your heart racing, and shadows, they grow longer. It is said that if you walk the halls that night, you will see a woman in an old-fashioned dress. Sometimes you can even see her in the mirror, but when you blink, she's gone. Upstairs, if you're lucky, you can hear scratching sounds. And it leads you to Mrs. Borden's room. Inside, the air will feel very heavy, very sad. The scratching comes from under the floor, but when it stops suddenly, a cold breeze makes the candles flicker, and you'll start to hear sobbing from the wardrobe. But when you open it, there would be nothing there. August 4th of 1892, Andrew and his wife Abby were found brutally murdered in their Fall River, Massachusetts home. The murder wasn't uncommon in the late 1800s, but the fact that they were bludgeoned to death with an axe, and the main suspect was their daughter, who was 32 at the time. And the crime and trial that followed made headlines around the world. Lizzie was ultimately acquitted of murder, but she remained forever linked to the heinous killings, as does the home where the crime had committed. Some speculate that it's a good possibility that the brother could have done it, but that's just simple speculation. One individual has said when they started working there, it was more of a history, and they really didn't care about the paranormal until she spent more time there and she started experiencing things that she could not explain. The individual will talk about guests tell them that they hear laughing and playing in the middle of the night, things get moved, and St. John has experienced a few unusual things themselves, saying that once she discovered toys scattered across the room that no one had even been in. There's also talks of a picture that fell over and slid 2 feet across the floor without any plausible explanation, as well as a closet door that once opened on its own. On the eve of the anniversary of Andrew and Abby's murder, this individual, St. John, says that they had 2 other tour guides at the house, and they felt a sudden sharp piercing pain in their left eyes, the same exact location of Andrew Borden's fatal injuries. It was very unsettling, and St. John tells of a tour guide at the Lizzie Borden house who asked her group to silence their cell phones. Before beginning the tour, moments later, a guest's cell phone rang. She looked up and said, "It's my mom." And the tour guide asked if she wanted to leave and take the call, in which the woman replied, "She died 2 years ago." So what do you think? Would you guys ever want to tour the Lizzie Borden house?